All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is once again time. What time is it? It's time to jump into the Paranormal Portal, as we do on these wonderful nights. Aussie Tiger remembered. Awesome start to the show. Thank you, brother. He is level Portal Peeps. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Hey, Richard Elmore. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. And hello, Rachel. And hi, Grumpy Owl. Oh, that reminds me. I didn't set it up, but I'm going to have to cue it up because we got a neat thing tonight that we're going to be utilizing. And this is really cool because this is actually, I love these kind of things because I love when our community helps the shows become better. And Grumpy Owl actually made something really cool tonight. Something that I've always wanted to do, but haven't had any time to do it. And so we're going to be showcasing that later in the show. Let me just kind of cue it up here for just a second because I want to show you guys it. It's just really, really neat. Where the hell is it? Where is it? Wait, I'm in the wrong folder. I got to get my stuff together here. I just remembered because I got sidetracked. All right, so we are going to get to this. Okay, so here it is. Sorry, it's a bunch of mystery, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit here in the second hour of the show. Let me pull this up there. Good. All right, let's see. Got to wait for it to start up here, and boom. All right, good. Okay. This is just cool. I just love it again when you guys want to help me with the shows in some way. And so many of you are, I mean, you're all incredibly creative and intelligent people. That goes without saying, but sometimes those of you extend your creative gifts to help me make the show better. And I appreciate that a whole bunch. So tonight we'll showcase that. I'll announce it and all that when we get there. But it's pretty cool stuff. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm not alone here tonight, folks. Just so you know, I'm joined by the big branch of my personal family tree. And I'm talking, of course, of Mr. Sheldon Thomas. How you doing, buddy?
The one and only, the big branch himself, me. I'm doing good. And by the way, your ghost thing is not on.
You're right. You are right. It's what, the third today?
Yeah, there's number 3.
All right.
Tiger was on point.
May 3/20. Whoops, Jesus. What did I just do? There we go. All right, the ghost radar is on. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the heads up. See, you guys help me in so many ways, and I appreciate it because I got a lot of buttons here. I don't know which one to push. But yeah, that's great.
Your old age is showing.
Yeah, well, I'm another year older, so I can do that. I can get away with that excuse at least now. Hey, Justin Goodearth and Taipan over on Rumble, as well as Barbara Mora's over there. Good to see you guys. And in YouTube so far, we've got Sheldon, you're there. Annie Manuel, Rachel gets it right. We got Aussie Tiger. We got Richard Elmore's over there and Chris Driggins. Good to see you guys. And let's see if I missed anybody else. So far, that looks... Oh, Grumpy Owl, of course. Yeah, derp. Yeah, that looks like the crew. That looks like the crew so far. Obviously, more are coming, but likey. Smashy. Amen, Aussie. Way to roll it, brother.
Wait a minute. We can't forget about our fellow Rumblers.
I told it. I just said we got Barbara, Mora, Justin Goodearth, and Taipan over on Rumble.
Yeah, I was just testing to make sure you remembered. Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, that's exactly what you were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You just weren't paying attention. God.
Whoopsie.
Oopsies. Well, let's play it off as a memory test. That'll work.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, folks, we got a lot to get to tonight. Of course, we're going to get to the news. There, I almost forgot the word news. Can you believe that? You're right, Sheldon. It's not looking good.
Setting in. It's setting in. Oh no.
The calcification of my neurons has begun. I don't know. Yeah, it's okay if some of it calcifies. Usually my brain drives me nuts, so if it would slow down a little bit, that'd be kind of nice. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. I don't want to lose my faculties anytime soon. But we're going to get to the news, and then we're going to get to an article we've been burning through. Give that man a coffee. Hey, I start every day with a few coffees. But I should maybe look into the nighttime coffees. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm missing the boat here. I know a lot of people when they get older like drink coffee at night, and I was always like, hey, I just don't
then
like
you're
it at
amped
night.
and you can't go to sleep, and it's like,
Nah, caffeine's never affected me that way ever. I don't know what it is. It just I mean I drank Coke like I drank it like that was my only beverage for decades, and I drank it right up to going to sleep like look, okay, got to get to bed.
oh, you guys, I would tell him to drink more water when I was younger, and his response was, do you remember your response?
There's water in it.
He said the water's the number one ingredient.
It's true. Look at the label. I'm just saying. It's true. Water is the number one ingredient to a Coca-Cola and to every soft drink, So there is water in there. It just maybe doesn't have the same cleansing effect as just water, but think of all the nutritional value on top of that you're getting. None was the correct answer there.
Yeah.
So I've been, just as a side note, ladies and gentlemen, I've been working on editing down some of the clips from the Montvale Hotel investigation. And I got to tell you, I forgot a lot of things that had happened. It's like, wow. Ooh. And if you like the Davenport investigation, this one is actually more active. It's really pretty cool. But I'll just leave it there. So we'll get to that release when I get it done. But so far, it's going to be a big project because I've got a lot of B-roll and things to work into it as well. And I got to get
I'm excited.
Yeah, I got to get a bunch to Jimmy as well and get him working on it as also. Jimmy's amazing. So we're all looking forward to that. Yeah, I've got another one after that. That'll be the well, just as a sneak peek, it's the Saint Ignatius investigation. But I was thinking of making separate videos for Saint Ignatius and the haunted Airbnb that we stayed in. But I think, given the fact that not a lot happened at Saint Ignatius, but it was a great tour, great experience to be there, and visually the place is just every kind of nightmare you can imagine. That's what St. Ignatius is. And if you're ever perusing through the YouTube archives and the investigations, you should see a live stream there from St. Ignatius. And I did live stream. It was really a cool place. But I will say we didn't get a ton of activity there, but we did at the Airbnb. But I think I'll combine the two into, that whole investigation in one. So that'll be the next one. And then I've got more footage to get through that's still on memory cards from another investigations. So I don't know. I someday I'll figure out how to manage my time much better than I do. So I'm just always reacting. So, every kind of nightmare. Yeah. Well, I mean, did you watch that, Rachel, when I streamed it from St. Ignatius? I mean, it looks like every, ghost show that you watch where they're in these dilapidated buildings with sheets of paint peeling off the walls, and some of the areas don't have a floor. So, I mean, they're cordoned off and they don't let you go in those areas, but you can look off to your right and there's no door, and all of a sudden there's just an open floor, and you can see the floor above because the floor in between is not there. It's like, yeah, this is a pretty cool building. I liked it there. I really did, but very cool.
It's safe to walk everywhere else. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I mean, the building is rock solid. That place was built incredibly well. But there's just some water damaged areas that they had to tear out, and it's just the way it goes. So I think it was more structurally, it wasn't structurally unsafe as much as it was just damaged, and they just decided to tear out the floors and repair those. But it's really a strong building. So anyway, that and the morgue at St. Ignatius is really a creepy place. We didn't have any activity there, but it's a creepy place. Just saying, that's where all the bodies laid while they decided what to do with them. So anyway, that's going to be coming up as well. Just a little sneak peek into future investigation videos. Before I go any further though, folks, let me just put this out there, because this is the stuff of legends. Where the hell is it? Here it is. This is an upcoming event in June, and this is happening, ladies and gentlemen, in Kalispell, Montana, on June 8th of this year from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a free event. There is no admission charge whatsoever. And it is the Kalispell Bigfoot Town Hall. And you can meet Don and I and the hosts of Bigfoot Today, which is Stephen Major and Mitch Johnson. Awesome people. And the keynote speaker, our special guest speaker, is Kelly Birdall, who's the founder of Montana Bigfoot Research Center. And so that'll be going on, and it's going to be a great event. My friend Charles Howard Johnson's also going to be there and putting up a table and display and talking to people about, investigating and stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to get there on the 7th with Don, and Stephen and Mitch are going to get there then. I guess Charles will too. And then we'll do an event on Saturday. So Saturday, June 8th, 2024, Kalispell, Montana. If you can be there, it'd be great to meet you guys. I'd love to have the chance to get together with you guys and hang out a little bit, talk a little bit, and, just see you guys. We can do, pictures. Just imagine. Just imagine this. Us. This is you right here. And we're taking a picture. So, it's an event everybody should attend. If you can be in the area, that'd be really cool. I know for a lot of you that's going to be impossible, but if you can be in the area, we'd love to have you there. And Mitch and Steven are wonderful people. We've been working in close association with them for quite a while, for a number of years now. And I love them both. They're wonderful guys. And I've never heard Kelly Birdall speak before. But there's also going to be displays of Bigfoot casts, and there's also going to be hourly giveaways, drawings, prize drawings. And I'm not going to get into what's being drawn, but I could say that it could be a Bigfoot cast or two. I'm just saying. So you have a chance to win prizes and such. So I just think it'd be great to see you guys there. So if you can be there, again, June 8th, 2024 in Kalispell, Montana. This is happening at the Red Lion Hotel in Kalispell. And it's a free event open to the public. So come on, come all. We'd love to hear from you. It's going to be a roundtable or like a panel opportunity for people that come to tell their stories and encounters as well. And so it's going to be just a full day of Bigfoot fun. Can you just handle that? A full day of Bigfoot fun? What's not to love? So definitely love to see you guys there. Head over to Kalispell, Montana, Saturday, June 8th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Red Lion Hotel in Kalispell. So we'll see you there, hopefully. As many of you that can. I mean, it's a bit of a drive, but come on, it'd be worth it. So keep it in mind. But Sheldon, are you ready for some news?
I'm always ready for some news.
Well, then I should get to some news. All right.
That's right.
Quit your nagging, jeez.
You're patiently gone.
I just wanted to talk. I like talking. That's why I have a show. All right, let's get to the news, ladies and gentlemen. The news. Time to news you up. Let's see what's going on in the news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the news. I'm your anchor, Brent Thomas, with my co-anchor, Mr. Sheldon Thomas. And Sheldon.
Yeah.
Leading off the news tonight, just a little bit of an information, self-help kind of a situation here.
All right.
Say you're in a freezing cold house. What should you do?
Insulate it.
Maybe, but just in the moment there, you're freezing, you're cold. Do you have any idea? Just say no. I don't know.
Turn on the heater.
Okay. All right, Sheldon. Jesus, just say I don't know. I'll tell you what you should do, Sheldon. This is self-help 101.
Yeah.
You should head to a corner. Any corner in the house. Because it's always 90 degrees.
Oh,
Thank you.
no. Oh, no.
Paranormal Portal survival tip number 1.
Oh, God.
Come on, that was so corny. You had to love it, right?
I'm stealing that. What do you mean?
Dad joking, he says. Rachel says, "Arg." That was good. You know it was good. Come on.
It is good. I'm stealing
Barbara
that.
says.
I'm using that later on.
Barbara says, "Smart A." And then a couple of weird characters after that. I don't know what that means. But that's the joke of the day. Look out, Brent. That was funny. I am a dad, so I'm entitled to use dad jokes every once in a while. I mean,
So
it's...
you know I'm a dad is when I start using them.
Yeah. Well, you got some kids out there? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
You use them all the time, dude. What the hell are you saying?
You didn't have to out me like that.
You're just getting your chops early. Is that what you're saying?
I'm practicing.
All right.
What I am.
Your kids are going to love it. That's all I can say. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the news. And I've pulled up some news stories for your entertainment and infotainment, as it were. So let's get to these and find out just what's going on in the world around us. The first one is, as always, damn it. I hate when it does that. I did it again. When you you're like dragging a window around your screen and then you hit an edge and it just splits the screen in half. There. Oh, God, it just drives me freaking crazy. It's like, dear, I don't want you to do that. Stop it. Anyway. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, from the news. The first story comes from an amazing site called unexplained-mysteries.com. Again, please support all the sites we use on the show. These are wonderful sites, and they need your love and support. You can help keep these sites rolling and providing entertainment for us all by visiting. Visit these sites, give them traffic, which helps to generate revenue. So look into it if you can. It's appreciated. So let's go to the first story tonight from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one's weird. I didn't pre-read it, but I read the headline like, ooh, we got to read this. This is weird. It comes from Modern Mysteries segment of unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is an article that says, let me do this quick because that's going to drive me nuts. There we go. Girl's claim of monster in her bedroom leads to horrifying discovery.
Oh.
I mean, is that not a headline or what? Look at that image. Oof.
Oh, God.
I don't even know. Is that? Oh, it's part of the bed frame or something. Or he's holding a ball. I don't know what the hell's going on in this hand. Anyway, it's a creepy picture. All right. After initially dismissing her claims as mere imagination, her parents soon realized that she wasn't making things up. Usually when a young child claims there is a monster in their closet in the dead of night, it's fair to assume that it is little more than a case of overactive imagination. Or is it? Come on, folks. Well, this is the paranormal world here.
Yeah.
We know things do live in closets. I'm just saying. This was certainly the first thing that the parents of one 3-year-old girl thought when she began complaining of monsters in the walls of her bedroom in Charlotte, North Carolina recently. We even gave her a bottle of water and said it was monster spray so that she could spray away any monsters in the night, her mother said. But as time went on and the young girl continued to express concern about monsters in her closet, her mother began to suspect that she might not actually be making things up. It wasn't long before the truth became apparent. The monsters that the 3-year-old had been hearing were, in fact, honeybees. 60,000 of them that had set up a huge hive behind her bedroom wall. Yeah, that's not a good situation. Not the best place for a honeybee hive. I will tell you, I owned an old Victorian house at one time, and I had wasps set up a big nest in a window frame of this old house. So there's the window frames on the old houses had like the weights. So when you lift the window, there's like ropes and hinges that go into the door or the window frame that keep it up or down or whatever. They built a whole nest in there, and I opened a window once and found out they didn't like that much. And so me and Raid went to work. They moved out in spirit.
Yeah.
When a beekeeper investigated the situation, he found that the hive stretched right down the wall and that it appeared to have been active for more than 8 months. It took 3 separate extractions to remove the entire hive and all its occupants. In total, around 60,000 bees and 45 kilograms of honeycomb was removed from the house. The bees had also managed to cause around $20,000 worth of damage to the property. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's an expensive batch of honey right there. I mean, 45 kilograms is a lot of honey, but come on, it's not worth 20 grand.
No, I mean, at least it was bees and not wasps.
Oh,
are
yeah.
way more tame.
Yeah. Usually honeybees are pretty docile. You got to really try to piss them off, in order to get them to really act aggressively. Unless they're Africanized, then they'll just go after everything. They don't care. And that's a different story altogether. I don't know if North Carolina gets Africanized or killer bees, as they're known as. But anyway, that's the first story. So, yeah, sometimes there are monsters, but in this case, they weren't really monsters. But that's a hell of a bad thing, especially if this child is allergic. That's a death sentence right there. Oof. Well, I'm glad it worked out okay. I'm glad they got it resolved. I'm sure, thank God for insurance. I don't know how that works.
Oh,
we're not covering this. It's an act of God.
Did you know there are bees out there that make hives out of meat?
No, I didn't. Meat bees? What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's either wasps or bees, but yeah, there are bee-like beings that make hives out of meat.
Where did you hear this? I've never heard such a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah, but where did you hear it? I'm just curious. Do you know?
Oh, I don't remember anymore.
Oh my God!
I think it was a YouTube video.
Yeah, well,
And it smells like rotten meat.
Bet that honey had an old house smell. It does. Annie Manil says, "Well, wasps eat meat." So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, hives out of meat, Maggie says, question mark. Yeah, you'd think that'd be in Australia, Maggie. I'm just saying, everything else there is pretty dangerous. So meat hives sound like right on the roster for Australia. But yeah. Oh, man. I'm just thinking of those big spiders they got down there in Oz. Man, those things are huge. And they're quick. I guess they're like really, really quick. And I can't remember what they are. But I guess they're not bad to have around because they really do eat pests and they don't really bother people. But they're enormous. They're like the size of a small coffee saucer. I mean, the legs and everything, not just the thorax and abdomen, but just the whole idea. It's like, God, that's a big spider.
Oh, it's vulture wasps. There it is.
Vulture wasps?
Sorry, vulture bees.
Vulture bees. So it's actually a bee? Okay.
Apparently it's a bee.
Aussie says we have fire ants. Yeah, we got fire ants here in the States too, in the southern states. Maybe not the same fire ants, but I'll tell you this. I didn't know we had things like that in Minnesota, but I was working on the correctional back in my years in the correctional, and I was doing the security patrol. And it's a big We called it a campus, even though it's an institution. But we tried to make it as friendly as we could. And all the buildings were named after Ivy League colleges, which I don't know if that was insulting or or what. Where do you live? Oh, I live in Yale. It's like, not that one, a different one. Yeah, Princeton, Yale. There was Brown, there was Knox, there was all this. I don't know why they did that. It's just, we're going to inspire higher learning. No, you're just going to, make it awkward. Anyway, I was doing the patrol and I was driving around and there was this old barn and a outbuilding out there, because maybe at some point in the ancient past it used to be a farm, or I think they built it for the facility so that they could, back in the early turn of the century, 1900s or whatever, they could farm and have agriculture to help provide for the people there. Well, I got out and I was just, I threw my back out and I was like, oh God. And so I just decided I'm just going to lean up against this tree. I sat on the ground and leaned up against a tree. And all of a sudden I looked down and there was like 5 ants on my hand, and then they started biting and stinging me. And they were littler ants, but God, I can't believe how much it burned. And I was like, God, is this fire ants? What the hell is this? I didn't know we had those kind of ants in Minnesota, but apparently we do. They might not be real common, but I guess they can be anywhere, folks. I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
that was pretty nasty. I mean, it swelled up afterwards too. I was like, Jesus, what the hell is this? So anyway, that was my ant story. Since it came up, we were talking about bees and ants. But that's the first story of the night. The monsters in the bedroom were real. And there were 60,000 of them, as it turned out. And they were also making honey, which is kind of nice, actually.
Huge.
When you think of it, that's kind of nice.
Missed opportunity to symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, I mean, if they could have got along, they just put a tap in the wall and it just spits out honey. I mean, win-win, right? And yeah, so they destroy the insulation. They become the insulation. Works.
Yeah.
Works. I mean, honey's got to be a pretty good insulator, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably doesn't flow as well in the winter, though. I'm just saying. All right, let's go to the next story and find out just what's going on there. My daughter was stung by a jack jumper ant. What the hell's that, Maggie? See, that's Oz. What the hell's going on there? Even your insect names are freaking terrifying. What the hell's a jack jumper? That sounds like something akin to a crotch cricket or something. It's like, what the hell is that? A jack jumper while she was collecting froglets. They really hurt. I bet. I've never heard.
People of Australia are just cut from just a different kind of metal.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, you guys are forged from a different kind of steel. We're more like aluminum, and you guys are like titanium. I don't know. I don't know, man.
We're like aluminum. They're like titanium.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh. I misheard you. Okay. I was paying attention. I just misheard you.
Okay, well, we'll roll with it. You are supposed to report them if you have them in California. What's that, fire ants?
No.
Is that what you're talking about, Karen? Yeah, I suppose. They want to eradicate that. Lucky I had, stingos in the car? Is that a breakfast cereal?
Stingos? What do you have down there?
What's for breakfast, Mom? Oh, a nice bowl of stingos. Is that like a cereal? What is that? Oh, my God. All right, well, let's continue on, folks, because I'm sure it's going to get better.
I want to go to Australia now. I'm scared.
I still do, but I'd probably be in a medieval coat of armor or something. Let's go look for yowies. Good day. I'm an idiot, folks, but you knew that already. All right, let's go to the next one.
Things that sting. Okay, I see.
What's that?
Stingles for all the things that sting here.
Doesn't that not sound like a breakfast cereal, though? You see a little bee character on it? Yeah. Stingos, ooh.
Extracted from real bees.
Yeah. Includes 10% real bee stingers. Yeah. Just like Mom used to make. All right, there you go, folks. Why not?
Sorry, Maggie. We love you. We love all people.
We love Oz, of course. All right, yes, fire ants. Okay, gotcha, Karen. Thank you. Rachel says Maggie is sold by the leader. Oh, my God. We are a worldly bunch here, aren't we?
We
I'll
are.
tell you
We
what,
are
though,
something else.
I've learned a lot about our global community doing the show, though. I'll tell you that. I've never known so many things. What the hell was that? Jumping jacks? Or what the hell was that called? What was it?
Actually,
No, what was
Jack
it?
Jumper.
Jack jumper. Jesus, that
Look
sounds horrible.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, go look it up, will you? What the freaking hell's a jack jumper? It's closely related to the jack jumper.
Oh,
Known
it's
to affect
those
athletes.
Kind of ants.
Oh, it's an ant, and they jump?
Looks like an ant.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Ooh, they have huge clampers.
Oh, do they really? Yeah,
Ooh.
that's the crappy thing about ants is they use their pinchers, and they you pierce your skin, and then they turn around and poop this vinegar stuff into it, an acidic vinegar content, and then it burns. It's like, oh God, you guys are. There was this TV show years and years and years ago. Maybe it was a movie when I was a kid, and I saw it, and it was like these, killer ants, because everybody was worried about killer ants coming up from somewhere. I don't know, but anyway. And they were, it was just disgusting. People would fall into this construction site where they dug up a huge hive or nest of them, and then people would be like, they got all these ants all over them. It's like, Jesus, I'm young. I don't need to see this. What the hell's wrong with my parents?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was either that or Walker, Texas Ranger. So,
Yep.
All right. Unexplained-mysteries.com brings us the next story. It's just continuing, folks. All this is why we love the news. And this is a great example of our sheer cunning and amazing ability in the world around us, in compared to animals. Because, and you think the panda took 60 years to discover or whatever,
Yep.
And it's not like it blended in, no camouflage, anything, but should have stuck out like a throbbing
Sore thumb.
Yeah, sore thumb. Thank you. I don't know where I was going with throbbing there. Let's just rewind that. Pretend I didn't say that. Anyway, yeah, I know. Wish you could just rewind. Anyway, there's problems with us finding stuff in the wild, apparently. So is it impossible to think there's Bigfoot? No, not at all. Because in Washington State, ladies and gentlemen, apparently kind of recently, but let's check it out. From the World of Bizarre at unexplained-mysteries.com comes this article. Escaped zebra reportedly eludes capture in Washington State. It's a freaking zebra. Yep, there you go. And maybe they just can't capture it, but it's Washington. There's lots of cowboys over there. Just, get a rope and they should be able to wrangle it up. There's lots of rodeos and stuff. But anyway, a zebra is currently on the loose somewhere in the Cascade Mountains, and nobody's been able to catch it. Black and white striped, folks. Yeah, blends right in. I tell you never see that. If you happen to go hiking in the wilderness near the town of North Bend, Washington this week, you're in with the chance of seeing mountain lions, elk, and perhaps even the odd Bigfoot. Nice. You're also in with a reasonable chance of coming across a zebra. This peculiar addition to the local wildlife comes courtesy of a recent escape of 4 zebras from a trailer while they were being transported to a zoo in Montana. They figured they'd walk, apparently. Yeah, screw it, we'll walk. Officials were able to quickly capture 3 of the animals, but the 4th not only managed to get away, but has since become something of a local celebrity. 5 days on, the elusive striped beast is still missing, and officials believe that it has moved deeper into the national forest, making it particularly difficult to track down and recapture. Trail camera footage has indicated the animal is eating and drinking and seems to be healthy. We have been out in the rain, shine, snow, thunder, lightning, just to make sure we know how it's doing. That was nice of him. Said horse trainer Dallas Clark, and none of us has ever done a zebra before, so this is all new. But we're trying to treat it no different than we would any other animal that's lost in the woods. So there you go, and this is from KOMO News. Como News. I did say Como, just to clear that up if there was any audio difficulty there. I'm just saying, you never know. Somebody be like, oh, you said a bad word. No, I didn't. I said Como. All right, here you go. This is the video from YouTube, the Como News. Oops, there's no...
Near North Bend, and here on day 3, people are reporting new zebra sightings. It is one of 4 zebras that escaped a trailer on I-90 while being transported to Montana over the weekend. Como's Jackie Kent talked with a man who had a run-in with a zebra. I can't even really believe I'm saying that, Jackie, but a run-in with a zebra this morning.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it either. As you can imagine, he was shocked by what he saw when he realized this was the missing zebra just a couple hundred feet away from him. He told me that it stayed on the trail for about 15 minutes before retreating back into the woods, and he caught this whole thing on his cell phone. Signs in North Bend make it clear South Fork neighbors are Team Zebra.
It's whimsical, it's unbelievable, it's fun, it's beautiful to imagine zebra running in our woods.
Other residents are marking their streets as zebra crossings. This comes days after 4 of the exotic animals escaped a trailer on I-90 near the North Bend exit and brought traffic to a halt, as seen in this citizen video.
Must be a joke.
And as one adult stallion remains on the loose. King County Animal Control confirms there was a report of...
The guy says, it must be a joke. I mean, yeah, you'd think, all right, who's the wise guy that painted these horses? Yeah, that's what you'd have to think. I mean, if you're in Washington and you see a crew of zebras running by, it's like, no, wait a minute. Where's the cameras? Where's the cameras? You're just waiting for the hidden camera show to come out. Yeah, what'd you think? Better than lions, I guess, but let's continue.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Of a zebra sighting about 1 day into the search. That was in the Snoqualmie Trail area off of Southeast 145th Street. They were not able to get an officer on scene quick enough. Now they plan to have extra patrols in the area over the next several days. Patrick Murphy snapped this video of his encounter with the missing stallion on his morning run on that same trail and reported it.
It's kind of like the local Bigfoot now. I hope they catch him, but I mean, the zebra might live in the hills forever in our hearts. I jokingly said that you don't find the zebra finds you.
A King County Animal Control spokesperson says capturing the stallion isn't so black and white.
We'll let it come to us versus spooking it and chasing it completely out of the area where we kind of know where it's at already.
Longtime residents in the small town.
No, what would make it come to you? It's got all kinds of food, nice weather. At what point is it going to go, okay, I miss those people. I miss them. I wonder how they're doing. No, I think it'll be just out there for a while until they find it or they find what's left of it when, the other wildlife finds it. I don't know. That's crazy.
Or when Bigfoot finds it.
Yeah, Bigfoot might get a hankering for some zebra. I'm just saying. Could happen. All right, let's continue.
Known to tourists as the backdrop of a 90s TV drama, are ecstatic that this unlikely event has put their home back on the map.
People are having fun with it and just...
Yay, tourism. Come see the zebra. It's out there somewhere.
enjoying that it's something different and fun. North Bend has hit fame beyond Twin Peaks.
Oh my God! They're just treating it like a they're just all have dollar signs in their eyes. Like, yeah, now people will come.
This is funny.
Yeah, and Animal Control does confirm with us that the zebra's owner bought the animals from someone in Winlock, Washington, and was taking them to her petting zoo in Montana when the animals escaped. If you do happen to see this zebra, you're asked to do what Patrick did, call 911, and they will connect you with Animal Control. For now, live in North Bend.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Zebras in Washington State. Not far from here. Maybe it'll make its way across Idaho. Stop by. I don't know. It's
I'm curious though, because I was even partially thinking like, screw it. What? Just let them be. Why not? And I'm like, well, I wonder because they'd be an invasive species. I wonder if they'd have an effect on the environment. I guess.
Well, since it's just one, it's not like a breeding population. So
it looks like 5 of them.
Right, but there was 4 and they caught 3 of them, but this one is still at large. So to speak. I mean, they're dressed like the old prisoner outfits with, It's like a new rendition of a prisoner escape or something.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're in the black and white stripes and hitting the woods. But there you have it, folks. I don't know. I bet you zebras are plenty robust. They're certainly a hardy animal, but I don't know how they do with, cold and warm and all that. I don't know. But maybe these have been here long enough that they've acclimated to temperature and such. But anyway, that's a heck of a weird story, right?
Wow, that is something. You find the most something stories out there.
Boy, that's sure something. You found something again. Yeah. Well, I try to entertain and infotain as much as I can, folks, because that's the scope of the Paranormal Portal news. And speaking of scopes, here's another one. This one comes from the UFO phenomena. I don't know. There's no pictures, though. So it's just a report. But anyway, maybe they found something. Let's see what's going on. This is from unexplained-mysteries.com again. And this is a flying saucer spotted in the back of a truck in Argentina. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Motorists captured images of a large metallic disc-shaped object being hauled along a desert road on a truck. The peculiar spectacle, which was spotted on the road between the towns of Andacollo and, I don't know how to say this, Chosmalal, quickly went viral and left social media users speculating over what the object could be. Seemingly made of metal, the UFO measured several meters in diameter and was held on the back of the truck with heavy-duty straps to stop it from falling off during transport, which is important if you're ever hauling a UFO. You definitely want to strap them down. I'm just saying.
Made out of metal? What it would be, like plastic? Is that the alternative?
Well, yeah. No, it's made out of wood. Spray painted wood. The opinions on the mystery have been mixed, to say the least. The Argentine economy must be really bad to carry an intact UFO on the roads in plain sight, said one commenter, while another suggested that a lack of suitable aircraft might be the reason. Others, meanwhile, distanced themselves from the UFO angle, instead suggesting the object was part of a communication system or some other industrial installation. There it is. Without a military escort, I'm going to say that's not extraterrestrial. That's, it's not even flying, so it's not a UFO. It's just a UO. It's a UO. Yeah. Unidentified object on the back of a truck. It's not flying. It obviously looks like it's going to be like, that's quite a base. I don't know. I mean, to me, that is not looking like, the seamless metal craft that you always hear reported. There's clearly seams, and there you have it. I don't know. I don't think it's a UFO, but it's definitely a saucer-shaped object. So
I would just be shocked if, if it was UFO, why so open? Why no transport support at all? Why so out in the open if it was?
Well, exactly. And where's the military escort and stuff? I mean, if it was really a UFO, that would be, along with a whole bunch of Humvees and probably attack chopper support above it. They're just not going to roll it on a flatbed truck in the middle of nowhere in a desert with unprotected.
Unless that's the genius of it.
Yeah, well, let's just hide it in plain sight. Yeah, there's that.
Exactly.
That's an angle, maybe. But I'm going to say probably not. I don't know what the hell this is. It says view profile on X, but I don't know what this profile is. That's who's providing this. I guess it's Taiwan_alien account on X or Twitter, formerly Twitter. So there you go. So this story echoes another instance of a large disc-shaped object seen on the back of a truck in Argentina, which occurred back in 2016. You can check out the story and video here. There's a link. At the time, the UFO was also deemed most likely to be some sort of industrial component. Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, it's just odd. But just, something being saucer-shaped does not mean UFO. I just think that's not a good place to start your inquiry. Is it a UFO? No. Oh, okay. All right, let's get to the last story of the night. This is this one. And this one I've had open since Wednesday, but I didn't end up using it just because we ran out of time. But this is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. And I don't know. A lot of us have a lot of trepidation about AI, obviously, being underlings to our mechanical overlords seems like a pretty bleak future for many of us. I mean, maybe in some ways they couldn't do worse than we've done. I don't know. But chances are they'd figure that we were the problem and we're best not here. Anyway, that's the big fear. So this is from the Science and Technology. Let me just see how long this is. This is fine. It's not long. Here you go from unexplained-mysteries.com. Creators of AI death calculator issue warning to the public because we already got the doomsday clock, so we should have an AI death calendar too, or calculator. I mean,
more things to be scared.
Yeah, let's be very afraid. Keep being afraid, folks. More fear, the better. I mean, it's just so dumb. Whatever is going to be is going to be. I don't know. I mean, it's just frustrating. Be afraid of this. Now be afraid of this. Be afraid of them. Be afraid of those. Be afraid of that.
There's the media.
Yeah, it's just this sensationalism. And granted, it makes people respond because they're coming from an emotional place. Like, what do I have to be afraid of? What should I look out for? You know? And so people click this stuff, and I clicked it, so I can't really say much. I clicked it too, but I'm doing it in the form of education, of awareness, and giving you knowledge. So anyway, Life2Vec, I guess, uses artificial intelligence to predict with eerie accuracy when you're most likely to die. Would you want to know the circumstances of your own future death? Probably not, which is what makes even the very idea of an AI-based death calculator so disturbing. Well, that's not what I thought it was going to be about. But anyway, let's continue. Developed by U.S. and Danish scientists using the same technology as ChatGPT. So it'll tell you when you're going to die and correct your grammar. The software attempts to calculate exactly when you are likely to die based on a variety of factors about your life, such as your health history, income, profession, and where you live. When it was unveiled last year, it was claimed that the software had an accuracy rating of 78%. Would you want to know, Sheldon?
Oh, that's a tough one. No, probably not.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. It's like, when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But the last thing I want to do is just go, oh God, look at the clock. I got 3 hours left. What am I going to do? You know, and then you end up living another 20 years. And you did something stupid. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
OPR 357's in here. Good to see you, OPR. Thanks for coming in. Nice to meet you. That's a new name for me, OPR. All right. Anyway, let's see. It's easy to imagine that something of this nature could create a great deal of stress and despair if someone happened to use it to calculate their death date and took the answer as absolute truth. Software like this may even need to be regulated. Of course, we can't control ourselves, folks. We need regulations. We need Big Brother. Absolutely. We can't be trusted with anything north of a bottle of water and a paperclip. After that, you got to watch out for us. We're just absolutely not capable of anything. I'm not usually too editorial about things like that, but it's like, God, you know, could you possibly crawl into more of our lives, please? You know, like I still have some privacy. What are you guys doing? Good Lord. Yeah. So yeah, that word regulation just bugs me. In the meantime, though, the creators of Life2Vec have issued a warning to the public about something even more problematic: fake death calculators designed to harvest your personal information. Oh, sure.
Yep.
Such fraudulent websites might, for example, offer the same service requiring you to enter your personal details so that it can provide you with accurate calculation. What it does instead, however, is keep or sell your data and provide you with a bogus answer. We're aware of Life2Vec social media accounts, and there is at least one fraudulent website, the creators warned, while noting that they have nothing to do with these copycat accounts. We're not affiliated with these or any other entities that claim to use our technology. There you go. Go right to the source, but they don't give the source. So I guess you just got to Google Life2Vec.
Live in mystery, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't know whether you're calculating your death or calculating your bankruptcy. But anyway, either one would be problematic. So There you have it, folks. I don't know about you, but I feel informed. Sheldon, did you feel informed now?
I feel very informed.
Me too. All right. Well, let's get back to the rest of the show and find out just what the hell else I got rolled up here for you. That sounded like I was that sounded like I was offering something that I wasn't offering. Anyway. All right.
The inner Don coming out. There it is.
It wasn't sexual. It was just like it sounded like I'm talking about a joint or something. It's like,
Oh.
see what else I got rolled up for you. Wink, wink.
Yeah, hi.
No, I'm not offering anything like that. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show. Thank you, Maggie. I'm glad you still trust us, John. Doing our best to bring you the best news that we can. So we got that going for us. I don't even know how much time that took. Yeah, almost an hour. We almost did an hour on the news.
Half the show's gone, guys.
Half the show's gone. We're going to be unveiling Grumpy Owl's contribution quicker than I thought.
Wow.
It's just rolling here, folks.
Yeah.
Wonder if I could do it. Wonder if I could do it right here instead of doing it the way I was going to do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can. I think I can actually. Yeah, I think this will do it. If we do this, trying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying. Because if I can do it this way, it would work better if it works at all. I mean, it'll work either way, but this would be much, much better. Let's go here. Let's go here. There it is. And there it is. Okay, that'll do. And let me make sure it's set. Okay. Okay. Oh, perfect. That'll be nice. Whoops. Hey, don't do that. I can't really do it. I'm going to have to stretch it out as soon as I launch it. But we'll do that in a second. All right, folks. So we're going to get to this article a little bit, and then we'll head to the Cryptid Corner and dive into the creatures and other amazingness. I got a couple of good ones. Well, I got all kinds of good ones. I got some from Sasquatch Chronicles. I got some from Phantoms and Monsters, Lon Strickler's site. So we'll dive into that in just a few minutes. But before then, we are going to go through more of the list that that one I think we read. There we go. And this is a ranker.com list. And I love ranker.com. And again, this is another site. Please support. Please visit it. Check it out, because there's literally, it's like Listverse and ranker.com and Thought Catalog. These are all amazing sites that, I mean, they just have lists and articles about everything that you might be interested in. So go to these sites, do a search, and it doesn't have to be paranormal. It's just, there's everything there. If you're into a specific show or discussion group or video games or media, culture, anything, you can find articles on these sites. So definitely visit them and give them your love and support. But this article that we've been going through, and we're on number 7 now, and this is Graveyard Shift Readers Share Guardian Angel Stories. And I like these stories because it's kind of nice to see this side of the paranormal, supernatural. Usually we see it in the through the lens of fear, terror, and horror. And it's nice to think, wait, there's a lot of good stories out there. There's a lot of uplifting, encouraging stories of people having these divine interventions, for lack of a better term, to help them through troubled times. And, I think it's so inspiring, and this kind of stuff doesn't get enough attention in the paranormal sphere as it is, because it's more sensational to talk about demons and hauntings and poltergeists and horrible, terrifying cryptid encounters and, UFOs and abductions and stuff. Those are all incredible stories in their own right, but it does kind of circle around the, be afraid. So I like to
Just
do
the
these.
media. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, but let's go to this one. We're on number 7. And the first one is posted by Katrina Parker. So let's see what Katrina had to say. Thanksgiving and dinner is her story. Not real long. It says, I was driving back from dropping my little one off at his Nana's house. I was a little out of it, overtired and stressed. Well, a song came on the radio that I liked, so I started singing to take my mind off my worries. And the next thing I know, the radio suddenly turns off. I'm going about 40 miles per hour over the speed limit and am halfway on the wrong side of the road. And I look up and see the whites of a tractor driver's eyes coming straight at me. What? You look up and saw the whites of the eyes? I swerve over. I mean, that's hell of awareness. I swerve over and slow back down, and the radio turning off saved my life. I was so deep in my own mind that I stopped paying attention to the road. Well, after I calmed down a bit, I could smell Sunday roast dinner, gravy, vegetables, and the oil used on roast potatoes. No idea who saved me, but I thank them, and I think of it whenever I cook roast dinner. Wow. Just think about that. If that radio hadn't turned off, that kid would have been like, I don't know, at least minus one parent. Maybe he doesn't have a dad or something. I don't know, so that's incredibly cool that someone was there to change that fate. Number 8, go to bed, Grandpa.
Wow.
Quit your walking around. Jeez. Posted by Madison Stegall. My grandpa passed when I was a baby. My dad worked the 3rd shift at the time and would watch TV for an hour or two when he would come home. He would then turn off the TV and doze off on the couch. Well, the TV would then turn on again, even though my dad knew he always turned it off. Well, this happened for about a week, and one night my dad laughed and said, "Okay, Dad, that's enough." It never happened again after that. Huh.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, he was just there. And that, again, did the grandpa really want to watch TV? Probably not. Probably didn't really care, but wanted to let them know he was there. So mission accomplished, right? Mm-hmm. Once they acknowledged that, okay, he's there, that was good enough. So that's why it quit. I often wondered, I don't imagine why not, but I got to say this though. Okay, folks, here's something that I found really peculiar. And, I don't know why the person took such umbrage with this statement, but during the interview that I did with the Staticom team on the podcast and the video podcast as well, they make the statement, look, spirits don't have eyes, but they still perceive things. And, but somebody left a comment on Spotify. It was like, spirits don't have eyes, whatever. I quit listening after that remark. It's like, well, they don't have eyes. Obviously, eyes are a very biological, physical mechanic that we use in our journey in this life. It doesn't mean, that statement doesn't mean that spirits can't see, quote unquote, see. It just means they don't have eyes. But that person was so offended by that. So, but they obviously have eyes. Jeez. Okay. Well,
I had taken it way too literally. It doesn't mean they can't perceive, like you were saying. They might be able to see and perceive way better than we can.
Right, exactly. They probably can see everything there is to see, and not just this filtered version that our eyes can translate into wavelengths of neurons and biomechanical, electrical, stimuli. So they don't have eyes in the physical sense, but this person really got uptight about it. It's like, but they don't have eyes. They don't have bodies. They can appear as they did in their physical form. And that's just for our benefit. And maybe that's our own filters applying that to that presence. We don't know. I mean, there's any number of mechanics that work there, but if they do, I mean, they can approximate what they look like and probably to a T, but that doesn't mean that they still have eyes as spirits. They are energy, and there is no physical eyes. There's no physical body. So I don't know. That one kind of threw me for a loop, and I'm always meant to address that on these live shows. It's like, I wonder why that person was so offended by that statement, because it's a, as far as I can tell, it's a factual statement, but it doesn't mean if we could see them, they wouldn't look like they did in life, like I said, with eyes and all their other physical features, but it doesn't mean they actually have them. They just can approximate that. So I wonder how
But
they...
you really hit a nerve, Dad.
Yeah, I guess so. OPR says, oh my God, how do they see in the dark? Well, they're energy. So they don't see through the same biological mechanics that we do. They see the energy of things, and everything has an energy field. So being made of energy, they can probably perceive everything in its true perfection or in its true state. Whereas we're only seeing things because light bounces off of things and comes into the gate of our eye and gets translated into, electronic stimuli that goes into our visual cortex centers. That's the only reason we see. It's a very biological function, but that, they probably see an absolute 360, front, middle, back, around, a whole full circle of themselves. They have awareness in all directions, whereas we're very directionally aware because of the limits of our physicality. So, yeah.
I mean, look at the vision spectrum. We see based upon light. That's it.
Right.
But who knows? Spirits might be able to see based on even radiation, maybe infrared. Like they might have access to everything.
The full light spectrum. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a sliver.
Yep. Like a bat, John says. Yeah. Well, even bats are directional. Like, they do their sonar in the direction, and their ears are picking up the echoes as they come back. So, but I think that spirits, they don't have to turn their head because they can see the full everything in their proximity. They can see, because there isn't these biological limitations. So it's just a function of an energetic state versus a physical state. We're energetic inside of these meat suits, but we still need these meat suits to translate our life and experience. They don't. Yeah. They just everything is energy at its most fundamental root. All matter, everything you can touch, feel, see, hear, smell, is all states of energy. And if you're in that energetic state, I'm sure you see it all, you experience it all. Whereas we're very limited. So anyway,
here's the other wild part: we see in 3D. To see in 5D.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point too. Yeah, seeing from a 5-dimensional state, or at least a 4th dimensional. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah.
Yeah. It's I saw a video. It's very hard to perceive. God.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to intellectualize or to make it make sense. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those videos about how dimensions. It's like 1-dimensional objects stacked create a 2-dimensional object. A 2-dimensional object stacked create 3-dimensional objects. So 3-dimensional objects stacked create, 4th is considered time, but I don't really believe that time exists as a real function. It's just a function of perception. But, 5th dimension, again, it's just stacks of the other dimensions. But the interesting thing is that as 3-dimensional awarenesses, we are very cognizant of 2 and 1-dimensional as well, but not so much 4th and 5th. Well, again, 4th being time or whatever, but I'm just speaking in terms of layers of what makes up reality. We don't have awareness or full awareness of these higher dimensions. Maybe we have the ability, but we just don't have the actual awareness that's, possible, in our true states.
Yeah, 5D is really true. I saw a video on it once, and apparently, like, if you were to look at a human person in 5 dimensions, you'd be able to see their outsides as well as their insides, like their organs and everything too.
Oh, sure, possibly.
It's actually crazy to think about that way.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Apparently
Probably screw up fashion shows, wouldn't it?
Oh God, I got the heart perspective. No.
Yeah, no kidding. Why am I seeing all this intestines? Yeah, not good. You don't even know. It just becomes someone else's problem. Yeah. What are you talking about, Brent? I don't even know sometimes, Justin, but I keep talking because that's my job. I got a microphone.
That's right.
That's what I do. All right, so that was Go to Bed, Grandpa. Let's go to the next one. And this is familiar scent. I think one of the most common ways that spirits let us know that they're present is through scents, through smell. You know, and there'll be familiar smells that we relate to those people. Like, for instance, my great aunt, her house, I like going up to her house. It was really a neat place. And my great uncle had passed prior to me being born, so I never met him, but he was an incredible craftsman as well as a doctor. So, but he would just work in his wood shop all the time and built some incredible stuff, including a lot of his house. And the house had a really specific smell, and I always found that to be a comfortable place. Like, I've always felt very comfortable in that house, and it's one of those fond smells that I take with me. Now, every once in a while, I'll smell that smell, and it's like, I figure, well, maybe she's visiting. Maybe that's her stopping in. And I think it's probably the case because, you know, spirits have a very limited ability to let us know they're here. And we don't know how much energy it takes to move objects and things like that. Maybe it's easy for them. Maybe it's really, really tough. We don't know. And certainly manifesting would require quite a bit of energy. Sometimes they manifest. But I think one of the most non-intrusive ways and the most non-frightening ways that they can let us know they're around is just by smells. You know, a smell that brings you back to that person or that place. And then you can kind of get an idea who you might be being visited by. And I think that's really beautiful. So it's probably the most common ways that spirits try to communicate with us that they're present is just making us remember a smell. Or maybe they energetically can recreate that smell and know that would mean something to us. But anyway, this was posted by Caitlin Brea, or Bray, I don't know, Brea. After his mother passed, my dad was leaving for school one morning, and he said his truck smelled like a bottle of her perfume had broken. He spent 30 minutes looking for it, and he couldn't find it, and on his way to school, there was a very bad collision that he barely missed. I really believe she was looking out for him. Amen. You know, just like the missing car keys, and I've talked about this many times. Oftentimes, we misplace things. So we got to run out the door. We're going to be late. And suddenly you realize, oh, I need to mail this bill, or I need this receipt to take something back to the store. I need to grab my checkbook or whatever. And then you look and look and look, and you always put it in the same place, but it's not there. And you go crazy looking. And then finally you find it in that same place you already looked 5 times. So then you grab it and you go. And who knows what could have happened if you'd left on time? That perhaps those things are very much divine interventions. They seem more mischievous and like a trickster kind of thing. But what if those are very much divine interventions by guardian angels or whomever? Just making sure that we're not in that place for the bad thing that could happen. And maybe the bad thing will never be apparent. Like, well, maybe sometimes people see a car accident that they might have been involved in, but sometimes there's absolutely nothing, so we don't equate it with anything. But maybe if we were there, an accident would have happened because we would have been that other factor in that whole interchange of traffic or, you know, something going wrong. So I think don't dismiss those things. Something could be trying to keep you from going because if you went when you wanted to, you may not have ever came home. So just food for thought. What do you think of that?
I was actually talking to a friend of mine about a similar discussion, like more so on like kind of the ripples effect of everyone's actions. Like every action has a ripple effect. Imagine the smallest decision you make today having a giant ripple throughout like time in your life and whatnot.
Oh, sure.
And, you know, those things could be really positive things too.
Right.
But it's just crazy to think about that a little decision can make a huge impact on your future or someone else's future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, Digger Dog, good to see you. Butterfly Effect CX says. Yeah, good point. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh my gosh, I sent you a story, Brent, about a credit card neatly placed on a laundry basket. Oh, interesting, Viscar. Whoa. When did you send that? Was it a long time ago? I don't remember because I do get emails from time to time. Not many for a long time now, but there was a period of time where I got tons of listener emails, and I put them in my email archives, but now there's a pile of them, and I can't be sure which ones I used and which ones I didn't. So I'm kind of not sure. But if you can find that, resend it to me. I'd appreciate it. I don't know. 3 years ago. Okay, do you know if I used it on a show or did I use it on the live show? Because I'm sorry if it slid through my personal cracks, but that didn't sound right at all. I'm sorry if it fell by the wayside. Jesus. Sometimes words just come out and it's like, oh, that's not what I meant. Anyway. Yeah. We wish you can grab words back. It's like, ooh, like they float out in balloons. Oh, not that one. Throw it away. What do you do? Well, I hope we used it, Visker. But if not, I do apologize, and I'd love for you to send it again because I'd love to tell the story. Beastly, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. It's nice to meet you. I always love seeing new names pop up. So that is exciting stuff. What are we doing for time? 8:14. I suppose we better get to some cryptids. What do you think, Sheldon?
Sounds good.
Does it sound good to you?
It sounds good to me.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, special thanks to Grumpy Owl for this. Let me just do this quick. You're supposed to have sound. Grumpy Owl made that, ladies and gentlemen.
That
Very cool.
Beautiful.
Very, very cool.
Wow.
It's supposed to have sound effects to it. I'm not sure why the sound didn't come out, but I'm sure it's something I screwed up in trying to do it on the fly here. But yeah, thank you so much, Grumpy Owl. Appreciate that.
Grumpy, well done.
Want to see it again?
That's awesome.
Want to see it again?
Yeah, I'll see it again.
Look at that. Bigfoot, a pale crawler, and Dogman.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that awesome? It's so good. It does have sound. It's just when I configured it to show on the show, I must have missed hitting an audio as well. My apologies. Let me just look quick.
Yeah, we need some of that boom, that impact.
I don't know why it's not playing the sound. Huh. Okay. Well, I got to look into that. It should have sound. It should.
Restarting your router?
What's that?
You tried restarting your router.
Is it plugged in? Here's the actual full screen version that I was going to show you, and maybe this will have sound. Let's do this. Let me play. And you can
apparently
hear.
they heard the sound. We just didn't hear it.
Wonder why.
Let me see. We hear it on YouTube. And
Hear that heartbeat? Isn't it cool?
Yep. Okay, there's sound. It's we're not hearing.
That's so cool. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Grumpy Owl, for that. I played the video on my other screen, just because it's just that cool. So
that's sick.
Yeah, let me stop this. There. So there you've heard it. I'll figure out why it's not playing the sound through my production software, but it just must be something I'm forgetting. Anyway, it is awesome. Thank you, Grumpy Owl. That's one of the things that I just love is when you guys send in things to put in the studio, something to hang up, something, like that, or these cutscenes like that. They're awesome. Thank you so much. So if anybody else has some unknown, send a bunch. He's sent us a bunch. Let me just showcase this. This one is one of unknowns. Yeah, that's unknowns. I remember what I did wrong. I remember.
That's so sick.
I know it is, isn't it?
We got some talented people.
I know what I did wrong now. Hold on. I forgot to do this. Properties. No, not that. Audio properties is what I want. Here we go. So this. I'll replay it in a second. I just want to test it out since we just got it today. And I just love this stuff. There it is. Okay, I'm going to replay it now. It should have sound. That's so awesome.
That's so sick.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Thank you, Grumpy Owl, for that. Everybody, give Grumpy Owl a round of applause.
Hearts in the chat.
Nice job. Nice job. There we go. It's going to give me nightmares. Face. Yeah, I hear you, Maggie. We've had the sound the whole time. I don't know how, Aussie, because it wasn't enabled through my production software, so I don't know how it would have played the sound until I just enabled it now. But if you got it, it's some kind of ghost in the machine, because it shouldn't have worked, and it didn't for us. So many hugely talented people in this community. Absolutely, Maggie.
Beasley in chat. He says, been paid member for 1 year, 10 months, and 1 day. Oh my God.
You have? Aw, thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Beasley. I didn't recognize your name. I just, people come and go, and so I apologize. But thank you so much for supporting the show and helping to keep things rolling, keep the lights on. That means a bunch. So.
And for everyone, I mean, even if you're just like your first month on or your first support on, it means a lot to all of us. It means the world.
Oh, absolutely. Just like the streams, share them if you can. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to support what we're doing. So, all right, so we're going to head into the Cryptid Corner, ladies and gentlemen, where we dig into all things cryptid. And there's not much more cryptid than the Bigfoot Sasquatch world of Sasquatch Chronicles. And special thanks to Wes for letting us do that. I had sound the whole time on my end. Okay. I don't know. That's weird. It should not have worked. That's strange.
How paranormal.
Right. It is. It actually is, because I didn't enable it through the production software. The sound of it, the video of it was fine, but yeah, I'm going to add a little more sound to it with some kind of music underneath it, but we'll figure out what that is. But anyway, I'll recap.
Oh my God, Maggie.
Maggie gifted 5 memberships. Gifted. Oh, very nice. Princess Lion received 1. Anyone have thoughts to share on a recent Dogman encounter where a Dogman was digging in a graveyard? Jason Finch got 1. Weapon X5 got 1. And Wendy Studenheimer got 1. Staudenheimer. Very cool. Thank you, Maggie. Interestingly enough, Glade Screechers. Interestingly enough, Dogman in some First Nations tribes is considered a guardian of burial grounds and such. So it doesn't surprise me when people see Dogman in graveyards, because that's a burial site. And so perhaps they are drawn to that. I don't know why it was digging, unless there was an evil spirit underground, or there was an evil soul that was still residing in a body, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. It gets really esoteric and kind of nebulous, but I mean, there's so much we don't know about any of these things, other than people have encounters and they seem to be very, very real. But what are their motivations? I don't know. It's a conundrum. But yeah, that is apparently a fact, that they are regarded as guardians of both portals and burial grounds, like the mounds and stuff. In fact, Linda Godfrey, the first encounter she ever read of the werewolf that became known as the Beast of Bray Road, was a report by a night watchman who worked in this factory, and they had burial mounds next to the factory, and he was doing his rounds and came around and saw this huge canid humanoid creature on the burial mound, and it scared the absolute hell out of the guy. And they had other reports as well, and then Linda kind of came onto it. You have to go back and listen to Linda Godfrey interviewed if you want to listen to her on the Paranormal Portal. It's still our most successful episode ever, having Linda Godfrey on. There's tens of thousands of views on that episode. So wow. She was just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. And I'm so sad that she's no longer with us. And I'm probably here in spirit, but you know what I mean? That she was such a voice and such an instrumental voice in putting the Dogman on the map, because for a lot of years, it was just this legendary stories that were just kind of floating out there. It hadn't reached the Bigfoot type of awareness until Linda came along. Other people were also involved in that. I'm not saying it was only her, but she was certainly one of the big voices to bring awareness and recognition to the phenomena. So, but yeah, Linda was such a great role model for the paranormal cryptids. Yeah, absolutely. She really was, and I'm just so thankful that I had a chance to know her. And I wouldn't, I'm not saying we were great friends, but I just adored her. She was just a pleasure to talk to, just a wonderful, wonderful soul, and just the kindest, sweetest, nicest person. And the fact that she took the time to appear on the little Paranormal Portal, and, not that we're enormous now, but we were really tiny then. But she still made the time to appear and be a part of it, and did so 3 times she came on the show, I think. And all of those are in the archives here on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can check them out. I don't know if they're over on BitChute or not. There's some abridged versions on like the Paranormal Portal Pieces channel, which is largely kind of defunct in a lot of ways. I haven't put any effort into that for probably a couple years now. But yeah, I mean, she was great. And so that's my take on why a Dogman would be sighted in a graveyard. Now, if it's a skinwalker, it's a whole different thing. Skinwalkers are apparently well known to dig up graves. And the reasons why they do is because they take bones from corpses and they curse those bones, and they use these bones to stab people with, and that basically those people will die unless it's taken care of by a shaman. Yeah, it's really, really creepy stuff. So the skinwalkers, but sometimes people claim they are seen digging, and they're certainly not as big as a Dogman. A skinwalker is usually looks about the size of a coyote or a large dog or wolf-like creature, but yeah, creepy stuff. For sure. Jeez. Seen a lot of Linda's interviews and documentaries. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, Chucky. I'm just so honored that we could talk to her. All right, so let's go to Sasquatch Chronicles blog and get the Cryptid Corner rolling here as well. Not only in and please, anybody else that has questions in the chat, feel free to put them out there. Just put them in capital letters so that Sheldon and I can have a better chance of seeing them.
Please.
So, yeah. So anyway, let's continue. Oh, Dog Digger over on Rumble. It's Digger Dog over on YouTube. All right. Double dipping. I like it. We'll take you anywhere you guys want to show up. We're just happy to have you here. All right. So April 30th is this article from SasquatchChronicles.com from the blog. It was circling us for about an hour. I think this is going to be an upcoming episode for Wes too. So keep your eyes peeled, because that'll be a don't miss. These stories give a good view of, an overview that people submit, but listening to the interviews is always, 100 times better, because Wes has an opportunity to talk with them about the experience, ask questions, and really get to a lot more material. So just because you may hear a story covered here on the show, this is really like the cliff notes of what the episodes are. So it was circling us for about an hour. A listener writes, first of all, I've got to say I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Been listening on and off for about a year now, and I find it extremely entertaining as well as creepy at times. The feelings that your witnesses often describe are very relatable, and I greatly appreciate your support to them in that regard. Many people hope to have encounters, but I wouldn't wish one on my worst enemy. I'd like to give some background on myself. I'm a 27-year-old male, originally from New York City, working full-time as an electrical engineer. Sorry, that didn't come out right. My whole life, I've been an outdoorsy person. As a very young child, I would summer in a beach town on Long Island. So lots of swimming and fishing for me. And after summer was over, we'd take frequent weekend trips to the Catskills, where a family friend had a cabin on a stream. Lots of hiking, shooting, swimming, fishing, etc. Never really got into hunting, but I still do a ton of fishing and lots of hiking and camping these days. I'd be happy to elaborate if you're interested, but long story short, my activities can get pretty intense, and I feel very comfortable in the wilderness, having dealt with large predators both land and sea before. The story I'm going to tell you is extremely uncomfortable in every sense possible. A buddy of mine has an uncle with a hunting cabin in the Adirondacks, so we decided to go for some hiking in early November 2021. Well, there are multiple parts to this, so I'll do my best to summarize briefly and let you decide if it's interesting enough to hear more. The cabin was situated on a shelf of a small mountain with about half an acre cleared off to have some open land around the cabin. The open land was in the shape of a rectangle, something like 75 feet by 250-ish feet. The front of the cabin was facing downhill and the back facing uphill. Both slopes were pretty steep. Must have been a solid 30 degrees both ways. All heavily wooded. Your visibility up or down the slope from the tree line was like 15 to 20 yards tops. Out of respect for my friend and his uncle's privacy, I won't offer up any location-specific details, but this cabin was backed up by several 100,000 acres of remote wilderness. If you look at a map, it won't be hard to figure out where. No cell service, no utilities. After all, we just wanted to disconnect. First night, myself and a couple of buddies decided to stay out by the fire pit late. Sometime after midnight, we begin hearing movement beyond the tree line uphill. Whatever it was circling us for about an hour. Well, eventually we get up to investigate and are met with growling and rock throwing, which we tried to dish back. After seemingly scaring the animal away, we put the fire out and head inside to try to figure out what just happened. We came up with a bear and called it a night. The bear that chucks rocks. That's a hell of a bear. The next day, we started getting harassed at the summit of the mountain and were followed all the way down to our cabin with rock throwing, growls, and whoops. Never got a glimpse of any animal in the 2-ish hours it was happening. When we got back to the cabin, the vocalization stopped, but the rock throwing continued. We stayed inside the rest of the day throughout the night, and the cabin was getting hit, and the shed was ripped open with the garbage bins being knocked over, and eventually we went out with a .22 caliber rifle, LOL, and we found stashed in the cabin, and we fired a few rounds hoping to scare whatever this was away. Luckily it worked. Next morning I went out to fix the shed, and when I caught wind of an awful stench, smelled like landfill mixed with ball sweat.
Wow.
And smelly armpits. Just god awful. It wasn't garbage, as we still had ours in the cabin, and the bins were empty. Figured it was lingering from the owner last time he was there. I later found out that there hadn't been anyone there in a year. Anyway, I went about my business and went back in. The rest of the day was really uneventful. We went down into the valley and hiked along a stream down there, did some fishing, and had a nice picnic. We ended up finding our courage again and decided to start a fire that night. A few hours later, we noticed the movement again. Everyone goes into high alert, but this time we have the rifle with us, so we're going to try to be a little more brave. We keep doing our thing, seeing if we can lure it in a little closer to have a look. Well, after an hour, we hear a branch falling off behind the cabin. We all look over, get the mag lights over there, but we don't see anything. I look over to the left with the mag lights, and we're settling back into our seats, and notice eye shine. We get the spotlight out. It's a large, dark, seemingly bipedal animal that's in the taking a knee stance. Right after we see it, it takes off running. This thing was not small. That was enough for us. We get in the cabin, start packing our stuff, and we load the trucks while my BIL stands guard with the rifle. BIL was brother-in-law? Okay. Stands guard with the rifle and my buddy with the bear spray. It was the longest 15 minutes of our lives. We couldn't possibly stay there another night, having seen what was around us all that time. We ended up driving all the way to Albany to get a hotel room. We still couldn't wrap our head around what we had seen. That wasn't a bear. Wasn't a coyote, bobcat, or fox. Was it a person? I guess it could be, but how were they getting around with no lights under a new moon in the middle of nowhere? How could they make those sounds? How could they be so large and so hairy and have eye shine? We had no idea, but didn't care to find out. Truth be told, it wasn't until 2023 that I started actively thinking about it again. This came about by a rerun of Finding Bigfoot on Animal Planet. All the feelings came rushing back in, and all of a sudden I was scared to even go fishing on Long Island, where it was so unbelievably unlikely to have a similar experience. Not too long after, I ended up finding your podcast and binging it. So many episodes were talking about such similar things that it made me start believing. The rest of my group isn't thinking much of it and believe that we simply got overwhelmed and it made it worse than it was. I can't shake the feeling that they're wrong. What say you? I think your friends are wrong. I think it's a Bigfoot. What do you think, Sheldon?
Oh yeah, that sounds exactly like, especially the, well, as we think it is, the stress smells.
Yeah. Smelling
like just horrible BO, and then a bipedal, and then something extremely hairy and big. Like, yeah.
I mean, what are the odds that it's just some person mulling around in the absolute pitch blackness of a mountain forest?
No way.
I mean, it's like the odds are so stupidly small that this is a person. I mean, is it possible that it could be? Well, I don't know. Maybe if it's wearing a ghillie suit and is a very large person, maybe it wants to be left alone up in them hills, but I don't know.
Wait a minute. Actually, oh God, I don't know if this is a dumb question or not.
What?
I'm trying to think, do people have, no, people don't have intense eye shine.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No.
No.
Yeah.
If they did, every episode of Cops would be like, oh, there he is. I see the eye shine.
True. Wait a minute.
You don't need guys running around with lighted up sneakers blinking. They just got the eye shine. Oh, there he is. He's under the porch.
That's right. Never mind. I had a brain for it. Yeah.
No. It's a fair enough question because, I mean, really, we don't. I mean, we see it sometimes in flash photography, obviously, but that's in specific circumstances with a specific kind of light, I guess. But yeah.
Oh, Pierre's got a point. There's a whole risk of being shot too. So if like you're in pitch blackness.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't risk that with hunters in the woods. No.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I mean, just running around in the woods in a ghillie suit would be all kinds of a bad idea,
Yeah.
Just for so many reasons, but one of them is just your own safety. But yeah. Yep, there you go. I watch a Crypted today with flickering eye shine. John Temperance says, I watched a Crypted today with flickering eye shine. I wonder if it was flickering or was it blinking, do you suppose, John? That's interesting, because I don't know. It would have to be some kind of retinal change in order to get a flickering. And maybe it's possible.
Lots of blinking.
Yeah, if it was blinking, like, like, hey, that light, that's really bright. Come on, what are you doing? Because, listen, one of the ways, if you want to piss off a Bigfoot, shine a bright light at it. And possibly what I've theorized is, I'm sure one, considering how sensitive their eyes are to light, that being adjusted to absolute darkness and then having a 100,000 candle power spotlight in your eyeballs would have to feel like electricity in your brain. I mean, it would have to be agonizing anyway, but then anybody that's had a flash picture taken of them, you see that damn blue dot for about 5 minutes afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's with our eye sensitivity. So what would that 100,000 candle power, spotlight do to your night vision? I mean, they might be knocked out of, being able to move around safely for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, who knows? I mean, maybe their eyes really adjust quick and they recover quickly, but what if they don't? What if it puts them in, in a bad place for a while? So, sorry, I'm going to rub my eye.
Yeah. You don't know what you're triggering.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know what kind of Bigfoot you got.
Yeah, I'm sensitive to bright light too, Grumpy Owl. There's a reason that I keep the studio dim like this, and it's because I like daylight. I like sunlight and all that, but I don't like artificial light. I don't like bright artificial light at all, especially fluorescent light. I hate fluorescent light.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe it's because there's a frequency to it, like a pulsing to it or something. And you see it more when the ballasts are going bad, when they just kind of flicker. It's like that and LED lights I'm not real fond of either, because they do have a flicker pattern. And that does give me kind of a headache. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, I feel your pain, Grumpy Owl. I feel your pain. So that's the first story from Sasquatch Chronicles. We're going to go on to the next one. That's from May 3rd. Sounds like today. Old, Sheldon.
Wow.
Well, here we go. May 3rd. Strange encounter on the Arizona reservation. Now, this could be a skinwalker. I don't know. Let's see what it's talking about. Of course, Arizona is real close. Well, there's Navajo reservations there and in New Mexico and Oklahoma, so perhaps. But let's see. A listener writes, I love your show, and I love hearing all the stories people share. The paranormal fascinates me, and I've had my fair share of many kinds of encounters, and I'll share a few with you. My husband and I recently, in the fall of 2023, had our first UFO encounter in the infamous West Deserts of Tooele County in Utah. Dugway Proving Grounds isn't too far from where we were. We were driving to meet up with my husband's brother and his wife at their home in Tooele. I'm just assuming that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. So we could go on a West Desert night excursion with them. Wow, that is the first blurb. Two spirits. The first blurb of the night for the Ghost Radar. I guess something showed up a while ago. Spirits approach 3 yards. And that was, what? 3 yards? I guess a spirit at approximately 3 yards at 8:40. What the hell time is it? Oh, I guess it's all, yeah. It started out with the one spirit, and then the other one showed up, so it said detected 2. So, yeah, that was our first. I like that thing doesn't go off all the time, because if it went off all the time, I'd be like, whatever. But the fact that it can go off once and then nothing for, 3 shows, and then something, and then another night it'll just be a boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So it's interesting. So they were at the Dugway, saw their UFO, and we were driving to meet up with my husband's brother and his wife at their home in Tooele so we could go on a West Desert night excursion with them. All 4 of us had been saying, we're going UFO hunting. And we sort of were. As we passed by Clover, Utah, on the back Highway 36, both of us spotted something we never expected to see. To the west, hovering between Clover and us on the highway, we saw a pill/football/egg-shaped craft that glowed with an intense green light, hovering about 150 to 200 feet above the ground. Wow. This green light was unlike anything we'd ever experienced before. It smoothly kept pace with us for about 2 to 3 miles, and the whole time our minds were absolutely blown. What is that? Do you see that? Etc. We both turned to each other and said, that's a UFO. We just saw a UFO. It suddenly levitated higher in the air, and then it was gone. I still can't believe that what we saw. Our West Desert excursion was fun, lots of bright stars and listening to coyotes. I've had several other paranormal encounters, including spirits and ghosts, but one memory in particular is something I wanted to bring up. If any of your other listeners can explain what this thing was, I'd really appreciate it. It scared me. While my husband and I were still dating, we were married in October 2022, we experienced so much. We can't go exploring alone anymore because something always happens to us. We see, hear, or experience something. We have to go in groups of 3 to 6 depending on the people. The paranormal fascinates us both, but my husband isn't a huge risk taker. Ha ha. I digress. Back when we were dating, 2021, I believe, we visited his brother down in Fredonia, Arizona, which is on the northern border of Arizona, not 5 minutes from Kanab, Utah. My husband's brother from Tuel was visiting us as well, so it was 6 of us. Myself, my husband, his 2 brothers, and each of their wives. We went on a little night adventure just outside of Fredonia, and it was maybe around 10 p.m. If you know anything about Fredonia, you know it is bordered to the west by the Kaibab Indian Reservation. Sorry if I'm screwing that pronunciation up. Our little trip took us to a road made of powdery fine red dirt. This road just so happened to go directly inside of the res. Now, I'm sure you know how much folklore and encounters surround Indian reservations and burial sites, so we were on high alert. The walk was filled with dust clouds, beautiful stars, and great company. The whole walk was super fun, about an hour and 15 minutes long, if I remember correctly. We trekked back to the cars, took off our shoes and socks, and beat out the dust. I hung back to let everyone pile in first, and I went around to the back of the car to stay out of the way of the people and dust. As I was putting my shoe back on, I looked up and I saw it. A very small portion of the road was being lit up by the car lights, and the section that I was facing was lit up by interior lights shining through the window. It's hard to describe this thing. It was perched on the edge of the road and had its front raised, almost like how a cobra or a snail would raise itself. It was completely pale white. It had rows of segmented legs. Oh, that's creepy. Like a centipede. It was long like a centipede, but sort of blob-shaped at the same time, like a snail. Strangest of all was its size. Its raised front was probably 2 to 3 feet tall, and I couldn't even see the back end that was off the road. The split second I had seen it, this thing moved unlike any animal I've ever heard of moving. It rolls itself up over its back like some freaky contortionist move, its head going all the way down to its own back, and it was gone. I assumed down in the ditch next to the road. I immediately moved closer to everyone, and I remember my husband, then boyfriend, seeing my expression and asked me what was up. I didn't think he would believe me, so I didn't say anything. Let me tell you, I was terrified. We all piled in after everyone had dusted themselves off, and I happened to be sitting on the side of the car that was on the same side of the road I had seen this creature on. It was gone when I stared at the spot. More than that, there was hardly a ditch at the side of the road. I was completely freaked out, but I know I saw it. Makes you wonder if it was coming out of the ground and just rolled back into the ground. Oh. Like it wasn't on the surface, it was just poking up, you know? I did end up telling my husband a few months later after I'd calmed down about it. It took a few months to calm down. And thankfully he believed me. So I don't know what I saw, Wes. Demonic, elemental, skinwalker, some other crazy thing that we have yet to document like Sasquatch. All I know is I saw a giant white centipede snail thing on the side of the road at night just outside of an Arizona Indian reservation. I've been unable to find answers for the last 3 years. Yeah, God only knows. I would
never heard of anything like that.
I'd bet it was subterranean though. I bet it was something that just came up. I don't know.
That is so creepy.
Right. I don't know what this person saw either. And maybe it was more of a dimensional thing. Maybe it was just a dimensional opening that happened or whatever. But what if those things live underground? I mean, God, what do we know about underground, really? We know minerals, we know geology, but we don't know if there are things north of bugs that live in the soil and some mammals and, other things, reptiles. But what if there's bigger things? Just saying.
They can stay down there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want them coming up and visiting.
No.
That is a creepy story, though. Very,
God,
very
it was
creepy.
a scout. Oh, no.
What? It was a scout.
It was a scout.
It's not a snail centipede. It's not a snail centipede. Yeah, maybe not. They might not like the window of the soul being blocked. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was one of those unknown cryptids for Chucky's question of the week. Yeah, I don't know. Death worm, Chucky says. There you go. That's true. There is but I thought that was over in Mongolia, the Mongolian death worm. But maybe there's some version over here. I don't know. That's creepy stuff. Maybe there is a U.S. version. I thought it was a Mongolian death worm.
We'll take that state off the list of places to visit. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's, I'm going to be in Utah in September, but it's more northern Utah and Vernal, but God only knows. Everything else is in Vernal. They got lots of spiritual stuff. They got UFO-y stuff. They got skinwalkers. Might be some death worms there, too, for all we know.
Oh, God.
We were investigating out on the Uinta Basin at Jaron and Roman, who are two hosts and founders of the Supernatural Station podcast. Don and I went with them out to their family property out on the Uinta Basin in the region of Skinwalker Ranch. And we had a lot of stuff happening with flashlight tests and my REM pod going absolute bonkers. And that's also, Jaron felt something push him there. And then I got pushed back in the hotel later when I'm laying down in bed. Don went out like a light bulb. And I was just laying there listening to the soft musings of Don's nasals, and he was out cold, and I was laying there, and I was just starting to get comfortable and just starting to drift, and something pushed me on my back, and it was enough to roll me over in bed. I'm a side sleeper, so it was like boom. I was like on my face, and I'm like, and I was pissed. I was just pissed. I turned over, I spun over and sat up and said, "You will never do that again. You cannot touch me. I do not give you permission ever to touch me. Don't you ever touch me."
Yeah.
Then I probably swore and said a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't repeat on the air. But I was pissed. I was just pissed. So that's a true story.
I wasn't sure if the Mongolian death worm was actually a thing or not. I didn't realize it was a cryptid. I thought it was like a real thing that I just didn't know about. Wow.
Yeah.
Looking about.
Nobody's been able to touch a death worm and live. Does Mongolian death worm taste like chicken? Everything else does. It's all in how you prepare them. So first get someone you don't like to, start preparing them, and then you can finish. Just saying.
Is death worm supposed to be giant, or like is it supposed to be just kind of a small thing?
I think they're about, can be. I think some of the legends are pretty big, like horse size or thereabouts. But yeah.
Oh man, think of the horrors we missed in the Jurassic period, and oh God.
Annie Manil says Genghis worm instead of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. It's a Mongolian death worm.
That's crazy.
You wonder where the Mongols got all their chutzpah from. I'm sure it's from living around death worms.
The worms.
Yeah, they survived the worms. It's like Dune over there. Yeah.
Oh,
Everything tastes like chicken to the death worm. Not us. We taste like pig, apparently, Rachel. Just saying. Again, happy belated birthday. May the 4th be with you. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it.
Tomorrow's
May the 4th.
Oh, my God. May the 4th be with you all.
Sheldon just went full geek.
It's my favorite day of the year. One of my favorite days.
Is it really?
Yes. So I can say that to people.
There you go. Well, tomorrow, don't forget.
I won't.
Yep, there you go. Gamey pig. They call us long pig in cannibal circles, apparently. In some regions of the world, they call eating people long pig.
What?
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Wow.
I got that story from Adam Davis. He's a cryptozoologist and has done documentaries. And he actually did the first successful expedition in the Congo looking for the Mekele Mbembe, which is it looks like a brontosaurus essentially, but they call it the Mekele Mbembe, means diverter of rivers. Like it's so big it changes the flow of the water when it goes through it. So.
Oh, man.
But that's in the Congo, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. This world is full of lots of shocking and surprising things.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
No kidding. Tremors was such a brilliant movie. You're right. Yeah, Tremors was great. Tremors was great. Yeah, the 4th. Happy 4th. Thank you, Taipan. Good to see you. As always. I mean, I've said hello to Taipan already. Sheldon, do some shout-outs for YouTube. So far, it looks like we got a Dog Digger, Barbara Mora, Taipan, Justin Goodearth, and myself over on Rumble. There could be more people watching, but those are the people chatting. So hello to everyone on Rumble. Thank you so much for your support and of the show. And Sheldon's going to do shout-outs for the YouTubes. And see what
time to chat is now, but for now, we got Annie Mandel.
Oops.
Oh, there it is, refreshing. Aussie Tiger, Chucky Danger, Grumpy Owl, Jessica Mink, John Stevenson, John Temperine, John Labella, Maggie M10, you're here, Philip Blair's here, Rachel Gets It Right is here, Wizard Moon 13, and I don't know how to say that name. Something Reality.
Can you spell it?
I don't know how to spell those symbols.
Oh. I don't know.
Oh, Killing Reality.
Killing Reality. Okay,
got
gotcha.
it. I got it.
Gotcha. Lucky Gypsy's over on Twitch too. Thank you, Lucky Gypsy. Appreciate you, bunches. Yeah, Killing Reality. Yes.
That's a cool way of spelling it, actually.
It is. We love the cool. There it is, Killing Reality. I don't know how they get all those ASCII characters in there.
That is cool.
Yeah, you have to use Alt and the key combinations, numerical combinations.
Okay.
Yeah. Lucky Gypsy's in the Twitchers. Good to see you over there, Lucky Gypsy. I did mod you over in Rumble too, Gypsy, just so you know. So you should be a mod over there as well. So let's see. I mean, we're really almost out of time.
Oh my God! Wow,
it's 8:55 already.
It was.
The night just sails by. It's been a good show, though, right?
Oh, very good. Yes.
I liked it, and I like that all you guys were here and are here. It's been a good journey. I think it's been a good journey.
A very good journey.
It's kind of quieter on YouTube tonight. Not a lot of people hanging out, but the ones that matter are here.
That's right.
The ones that matter are here. It looks like the most we've gotten up to on YouTube tonight is 49 listeners. It's a little lower, but maybe there's something going on. Friday night, after all. Weather's getting nice. People are getting out.
Yeah, it was literally 72 today here in Minnesota. Just a literal perfect day.
Wow. I don't know what it got to, 60 or something over here. It's been really a chilly spring. I mean, it's rainy, chilly spring. It looks like it got to 61 today, and tomorrow 63. We're not going to hit the 70s until like next Friday, and then after that 75, 76. So it's going to be some beautiful weather coming up in the next week. But Sunday, Monday, a rain. That's funny. We need the rain though, because up here, it like there's a weird weather up here. It's like springs and falls are very rainy up here in the north of Idaho. But the summer is like this extended dry period. And then, of course, we head into fire season, where the fire risk goes real high up in these conifer forests. You know, it's all like you live in a forest of living matchsticks with all these pine versions around. There's very few, like, hardwoods and stuff here. It's like really a lot of pines and stuff. And, man, when those fires start up, it's just like, it's like your neighbor's burning leaves all the time for weeks. You just get that, and red sunsets, and your eyes burn if you're outside too long. It's really, really good for someone like myself who has, a lot of bronchial issues. So.
Yeah, there was one last time. I think it was last time I visited. There was a huge fire sweeping across some of those Idaho forests over there.
Yeah. There's been several big ones in the last few years. Yep.
Yeah.
Just obey Smokey and the Bear Kids. Absolutely, Jess.
That's right. Only you can stop wildfires. Stop
Only
it.
you can prevent forest fires.
That's right.
Get over here, kids. Bring a sandwich. It's prospector speak. Chucky speaks prospector as well. Chucky, you should talk to Justin Goodearth, man. That guy can speak some prospector. And geology like you wouldn't believe. It's like, I hung out with him, and it's just like, he knew. He'll forget more than I'll ever know. I swear. It's just one of those guys. But anyway, Yeah, that's going to wrap up the show, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the journey tonight into our all things paranormal and cryptid and Fortean and weird and wonderful. And I'll be back tomorrow. It's just me and you guys. We're going to do a Saturday show, and we'll dig into the news, the cryptid corner, of course, and the question of the week. Special thanks to Chucky for throwing that together. Remember, don't forget about June, because in June, this is going on, and I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to have some of you guys come out. As many of you that can, come see us over in Kalispell, Montana, June 8th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Red Lion Hotel, Kalispell, Montana. So be there, or,
Be square.
If you're not there, you suck. That's all I'm saying. No. I'm just teasing. You don't really. I mean, not that I know. Anyway, so I'm going to shut up now.
Oh, my God, that Donna came out.
Yeah. I know, it's another word bubble that I'd love to grab back, and it's just like... Because I don't realize, the problem is that I don't realize how bad things sound until after I speak them. And it's like, oof, that wasn't good. No, I should not have said that. I should not have. I'm like Hagrid over here. I should not have said that. Yeah, that's my life, folks. So anyway, but that's going to wrap it up for us. Anything in closing, Sheldon?
As always, guys, just remember, we have our Discord channel. Here right in the chat, great discussions, great people, and in great environments for you to share. And all these amazing discussions happening there, as well as, don't forget, paranormalportal.net. I'm going to put that right in the chat as well. Feel free to stay up to date with the new episodes, and feel free to get yourself interviewed if you have an amazing experience to share.
Right. Where are you getting that Discord link?
Oh, I just quickly did it from the...
I'll put it over in Rumble too. It's discord.gg/paranormalportal.
Yeah, I did this quicker. It's just,
That's the Discord link. And of course, the home base for the Paranormal Portal is just paranormalportal.net.
paranormalportal.net.
Yeah, of course, .net. Everybody knows the dot. Jeez.
Hey, you got to say it, though.
You got to say it. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But those are the home bases for the Paranormal Portal. Love to have you involved on Discord. If you join, head over into the Discord question of the week section and let us know your thoughts on whatever question Chucky posed this week. So we'll dive into all that soon. But hope you guys have a great night, whatever's going on in your world. And remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Be sure to hit the likes before you leave. We'd love for you to share these episodes out there to groups that you are involved in that might be paranormal related, because we're trying to spread the word. We're trying to grow, and we're trying to expand. Want to do a lot more investigating, and we're going to need a lot of traction. Unfortunately, I'm eating everything right now, and it gets pretty bleak sometimes. So,
Rachel's wondering when the phone lines are coming back.
Basically, I'm in no hurry to take on another expense. That's kind of it. Unfortunately, I had my phone lines through TFR before, and since they've taken a hiatus from broadcasting over there, I lost the phone lines then, just because they didn't continue their phone lines, and I was piggybacked on them. So I just, given the amount of phone lines usage that we've had through the years here on the show, other than when Deb's doing readings, Deb reading nights were always amazingly busy and wonderful for getting call-ins. But other than that, we might get, 3 calls in a month, and it's an expense that I can't justify at this point. So I've got to be cost effective, especially with the economy the way it is, and just making ends meet. So, unfortunately, I'm not a rich guy. Wish I was, but so I don't have any plans to get. No, I'm not gonna start on another radio channel. I'm happy to just. I was with TFR because I love the founders, and there wouldn't be a show without them. But I'm not really that interested in doing internet radio. I think most people are tuning into YouTube or Rumble, and the podcast, I think, are the big thing. I don't think internet radio is what it once was. So I don't know. It would be a way to possibly, raise awareness for the show, but I just think, having to wrangle and support another broadcast option on top of what I'm doing, it was, it gets to be cumbersome and hard, especially when there's problems and technical issues. Those are a nightmare. And unfortunately, I had a ton of years of those nightmares. So this seems much more stable the way we're doing it now, and I have no plans of changing it. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Terrestrial radio was good with Art Bell. Yeah, you're right, Phil. It really is. And it's, George Norrie's doing a decent job too. But again, yeah, I think, I don't know, terrestrial radio itself, it just seems to be taking a hit too. Everything's online now. Everything's online. Everybody's streaming. So we got to make sure to hit those streaming platforms. And that's what we're doing. Hitting all of them that we can. Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, and BitChute. That's 4 of them that we're on. So I don't know. If you come up with other ones, let me know. It could be possible we can expand the umbrella, but that's what we got now. So, all right, guys. Love ya. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and eventually BitChute when it uploads over there. I don't stream live to BitChute. I was thinking about doing other platforms like Twitch or Twitter, but I don't know what the criteria is. I don't think I have the followers to do it over there. So anyway, that's what we got. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Take care. And until then, be good. See ya.
Good night. Good night.